What's going on? How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. And yourself? My name is Trinity. What's your name?
My name is Eric with an A.
Aric. Hi, nice to meet you.
You too, likewise, likewise.
So where are you joining me from? What parts of the US?
I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, but I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina right
Oh, you in the NC area. Okay, all right.
now.
All right, so talk to me.
So I know I said a lot on messaging, right? When we was talking when y'all was having that discussion. So I recently got to a place where everything that I was taught as a child, and now trying to elevate myself and have a better relationship with the creator, which I know is just God. My beliefs, how it was taught to me, is now not making sense, right? So when you come into that place, it's almost like you're not finding your identity, so to speak. And that's where I feel like I'm at because now I'm questioning things because it just don't make sense. I know I am a very inquisitive person. I do my own research. I have to think about things. It has to connect. I have to see what the facts at. And now I'm like, I don't know what to believe in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
It
that's where
sounds
I'm at.
it it sounds like you are where I was when I had that spiritual awakening, when I left a physical actual body and I realized that I still had breath, even though I wasn't breathing,
Hmm.
right? And that I'm not the body because I came out of it, but yet I'm still aware that I'm aware of something. So then when I return back to the body, of course, life is no longer the same because, like yourself, everything that I've learned to be true has been literally stripped away from me.
Hmm.
And
Right.
now I'm stuck in limbo. It's like I don't even know what to think to
Exactly.
even try to figure anything out. Now, me like you, I'm very analytical. I'm very logical. I'm rarely in my feelings, when I'm trying to think things through. So, what helped me was that I said, okay, I accepted that I now know nothing. I know absolutely nothing. That is an amazing starting place
Hmm.
because now you are surrounded by blankness, just a blanket of white. Now you get to
Right.
create, you get to discover, you get to explore. Now you get to now you get to develop your own beliefs based on truths from your own personal experiences and not from anyone else's limitations and fears. So you start from ground zero,
Right.
creator,
Right.
creator. So the creator was before there anything became, right? And the creator became everything that now exists because the creator was the only thing in existence before anything else became something. So the
Right.
creator must too be the substance in which things come from,
Right.
right? Now, if the creator is to create and is creating from itself, then where would the creator put its creations? Would it not be within itself?
Hmm. Yeah. Right.
So then that means that the creator would have to be constituted as something that we're going to term the all. Because to try to explain the creator from its parts and its pieces takes away from the creator itself. The creator cannot be defined by its parts and some pieces. You know what I mean? You need the
Right.
whole thing. So now the creator is that which is above, it is that which is below, and it's also the things that are on the outside of us. So now we are contained within God's field.
Right.
So if you are already contained within God, there's no fear.
Hmm.
Because where there's God, there's strength. Where there's God, there's power. Where there's God, there's love. Where there's God, there's mercy, favor, and most of all, forgiveness.
Right.
Now, if we come from this thing that we call God, that creates from itself as this, as the substance, then we too are created in God's image and likeness, which means that we too are spirit.
Hmm.
We're spirit first before we're human beings.
Right.
So now you've awakened to the illusions of the world, right? And you are lost in your identity. That's because you've never been placed in your true identity, which has always been spirit.
Mm.
So if your true identity is in spirit and God is spirit, then your identity is in God.
Right.
Not in anything that you've ever thought yourself to be. Not in anything that man has told you that you are, that you were, and that you will ever become, because you are only spirit. Now, spirit can never separate from itself, because what's going to be in between the spirits? Would it not be spirit still? So that means that you, as spirit, never left the spirit realm. Thereby, you are affixed to God. You never leave God's side, because you are spirit. Now, if you can imagine spirit with the VR glasses, okay, your consciousness, your spirit, right? You want to experience life, but the only way you can experience life is through life form. So you put on these glasses. Oh, wow, now you've got color. Now you've got light. Now you've got contrast. Now you have contour. You have shapes. You have people. Oh, wow, these are other spirits who are wearing glasses, still within God's realm, but we are interacting as if we are human.
All right.
Did that make sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about that so far before I continue?
I get it. I definitely get where you're coming from, and I feel like to have that thought process now, it comes from a level of guilt. You know, like, should you think this way? Should you move that way?
Mm-hmm.
Should you try to attain information and be open to other things based off things you just said? And that's where some type of guilt with that, because it's like taking the veil off your eyes, and now you like, I'm really seeing for what it is, and I have no idea what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And trying to understand, and that's what my problem is.
I know where you are, because in order for me to take, after I came back, right, I felt really, really bad. That's the best way I can say it.
Mm-hmm.
To have to reject what my mother taught me, because
Right,
that would have to be me admitting my mom doesn't know what she's talking about,
right, right.
you know. um and I wasn't even sure if it was okay for me to think my own thoughts.
Exactly.
But then something presented itself to me, a voice. I gave you a mind to use.
Mm.
When I heard that, I gave you a mind to use, that was the only confirmation that I needed. I'm
Right,
like, that's right. Why would God give me a mind if I couldn't use it? Like, what good is it? Like,
right,
I'm crazy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm crazy. Yo, this is so cool. Like, I have my own mind. I can put my own things inside of it. I can take out things from it. Like, I can do whatever I want with my mind. Like, I can think my own thoughts. I can imagine my own ideas. Oh my God, wait. I can envision life for myself through my own imagination. My mind. I
right.
can do with it whatever I want.
And I agree 100%.
I was like, holy crap, thank you. A weight was lifted after that. God gave me a mind to
Right.
use. What else am I supposed to do with it? So God gave you a mind to use. How do you feel about that?
I definitely understand that, because I know how my mind operates. I know I'm very inquisitive, and God wouldn't put that in me if it wasn't for me to explore and, come up with my own truth versus what I was taught and what I was raised on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been there. It's always been there. It's been the fear of things that I was taught, and, being around things where it was a fear to think outside the box, because that wasn't right. That's not the right thing to do.
Yeah, you're not supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to just
Right.
accept what's being told. And when you ask
Exactly.
questions, we're chastised. And now we become fearful to question anything. And what that does is sets us up for poor decision making when we get older, because we rely on other people directing us, because we've
Right.
never developed the opportunity to trust in our own selves.
Uh-huh. That,
But
yes.
if I may offer this to you, no one ever said it would be easy to be chosen. And when I
Right.
say chosen, meaning you are chosen to show your family the different that they don't know, but the very thing that they're seeking. When you learn the way, you can now go backwards and bring them back with you.
Right.
You've cleared the path. It's easier for them to follow you once the path is cleared than for them to move at all without even the vision and foresight.
Mm. Mm. That's
So,
very true.
yeah, so your awakening is so that you can be free
Right.
in your mind, free in your heart, and free in your intentions. That is the ultimate freedom. And that's what everyone else on this planet is seeking: spiritual freedom.
Right.
And once you attain it, you can extend it, and they will extend it onto others.
Right.
You're
Mm.
here to break generational curses. I'm here to break generational curses. No one in my family thinks like me, even though they go to church every Sunday. You see,
Right.
they're righteous because they talk to God every day. But I'm a complete nut because he answers me back.
Right. Facts.
Yeah, they're righteous because they speak, and I'm a nut because I hear. And it's okay. The Bible prepares you for that too.
Right. And I definitely get it. So now my mind is open. It's always been open. It's always been like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something that just started. This has been time and time invested with. I knew like my mind can conceive, and it was outside the box. And I was always exploring different stuff. I just got some good information from a dear friend of mine as far as reading the Quran to get some more insight. Because now I'm open to learning other things, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And gaining that information and take what I get from it and putting my own thing into it. So I think now, most importantly, the number one thing is to have your own intimate relationship with God.
That's the only thing you can do.
Right. Not the breakdown, separation, how, and I hate to say this, I'm not trying to be funny, but I feel like, the way I was raised, like my grandparents kept me and my twin in church. My parents kept us in church. I was going to church as an adult, younger adult, 3 days out the week, like faithful with this. And
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it created a division, separation, because honestly, I didn't know who to pray to. I didn't know who to pray. I didn't know if I should pray to Jesus or do I pray to God, or is this the same person? Nobody never broke it down.
Yeah.
It was just believe. That's it. Nothing else. But like you said, when you get older and you have those questions and those thoughts, and you're not afraid to think outside the box and use your mind, now it's like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
this is deep.
Yeah. You see, now my thing was I so when I used to be a private investigator, I used to have to make a lot of follow-up calls to get the records that were requested.
Right,
So when I wouldn't get, the response, or should I say the results, my boss would always tell me, stop going to the middleman, go straight to the head. Don't deal with the middleman, you go straight to the head. And after that, I just like eliminated the middleman. And I
right,
always went to the supervisor. I always went to the higher person in charge. So when I left the body, came back, now I'm a believer. Okay. Like,
right,
okay, all right. I believe in God now. You got me. You made a believer out of me. Now my thing is, why do I need Jesus? So I eliminated Jesus and I went straight to God. And it
right,
was working with God and, learning my studies and putting things into practice that I realized that, oh, okay, so I get it. Jesus is the way to God. By doing things the way Jesus would do it, we would get the same results that Jesus got. So it's not me praying to Jesus per se. For me, it's using Jesus as a template, a guide for me to follow. Because in the Bible, it says God shows no partiality, which means that I am literally no different than Jesus. Jesus holds no higher standpoint. Like Jesus is like the human being the way that I am. However, he's more aligned in perfect order, mind, body, spirit, and soul. So Jesus is somebody who I thrive to mimic and imitate, because that's when I experience the goodness of God. That's when I experience God for myself, because I can think a thought of wanting something and boom, it comes to me. It's like, whoa, if I would have known that, I would ask for something bigger, like so and so and so and so. Boom, it comes to me. I'm like, okay, this is scary, because now I don't want to take advantage of God. You know what I mean? So, another thing comes up, but something's going to always come up, because you're going to always want to better yourself. You're going to always want to be the best version of yourself. You're going to always want to improve. You're going to always want to excel. And this is it's the nature of the human spirit. The spirit, the mantra of the spirit is more.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. There's always longing for more. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's always forever evolving. It's always forever expanding. It's always forever maturing and growing. We got to just be open and just let ourselves free.
Right.
You got to just be free to be free to get big.
Right.
Bigger than the people that you know. You got to be able to get bigger past them.
Right.
So that you can create space within yourself to hold them when you are carrying them to where you can take them to. And it's a place they desire to get to, but they're afraid. They're scared.
Right.
Just like you
and I
are.
think a lot of people are scared. That's why they never come into conversations like this and have a conversation with themselves about this. But I feel like going this route and doing it this way, this is really finding out who you are and what your purpose is.
Agree?
I totally agree with it. I do.
Yeah. So what did you get from this so far? Like, what's different now than when you first came in?
I guess more understanding. You don't hear a lot of people that's accepting to go seek the truth for yourself. It's okay to be open to things. Recondition your mind to what you thought you knew was taught and be open to other things. There's nobody that's saying that. Maybe one person, but nobody else is saying it. So to know that it's a community, it's other people that may feel the way I feel or went through the same journey, like you mentioned before, that gives you some level of empowerment. Like,
Yes.
it's okay. You're not going to be ridiculed, and pushed to the side and all of this. So, I think that's definitely a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that was dope. That's dope.
That's the truth, though.
That's dope. Yeah.
Because, we all doing the best that we can do, right? And we all are seeking knowledge and, like you said, the word more. We want more and more. And, it's important to have these type of discussions, especially in the Black community.
Yeah.
That's so important. You know what I'm saying? All communities, but it is what it is. So, to be able to share that with other people and get insight. They might not agree with it. They may, but it's good collectively to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? And put the pieces together. So
Yeah,
that's good
I
stuff.
agree. Good morning,
Good morning,
sunshine.
beautiful
Look at her, look at her,
people.
look at
Good
her. She brought all
morning.
that light with her. She just
Huh?
a rain. Look at her.
It's because I'm working as we're supposed to be doing, right?
Me too, right. I'm supposed to be working right now.
Yes, I just thought that was a very positive message you gave to this young man. It was very heartfelt, and the one comment I made when I was listening, a listening ear will always learn. So I think by listening to this positive young lady, which I've actually grown to admire in a very short window of time, but she brings peace, and she has a broad prospect of all of us, and it helps. It helps with a humbleness,
Right.
and sometimes it just takes someone with that soothing voice to hear it and understand from all angles. So that's what I do admire, and I enjoy listening to this podcast that I think is going to grow tremendously. So, but I can't stay on because I am working.
Yeah, me too.
But
All right, me too. Me
I
too.
wanted to say thank you guys, and thank you again this morning, lovely lady. You're always such a great start to anyone's day.
Yeah, and thank you for joining me. And it's
You're welcome.
I look forward to collaborating with you in the future. We
Yes,
have to do some
ma'am.
lives together.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All
ma'am. And you too,
righty.
young man. Keep your heart positive, okay?
Yes,
All
yes.
right.
Always.
All right. Good night. Bye bye.
Later.
Later.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I think as
Yeah,
long as we don't have to defend our stance, we can be open
right.
to at least entertaining other people's ideas.
Exactly. Not be shut off that you cannot listen to anybody else's opinion or their thoughts of things. Being open, like you said, having a listening ear, because you learn off hearing other people experience as well. That helps you with the growth, with the process. So that's very important too, to be open, to accept those things and embrace it.
Yeah, yeah. And that takes a lot of courage because cognitive dissonance is real.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know what cognitive dissonance is, it's that very uncomfortable sensation that
Mm-hmm.
stirs up inside of you when your beliefs and new information contradicts each other. So
Mm.
instead of, saying, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, what I used to think before, it doesn't make sense now that I know this. What happens is that the mind protects itself, right? Meaning that it's going to hold on to that belief and it's going to carry that person away from that new truth. So it'll look like something like, yeah, I get what you say and I totally agree, but
Right. 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 Right.
that but yeah, that's that cognitive dissonance kicking in. And although they agree, they're trying to tell you, I don't agree because I don't like the way agreeing with you feels inside of me.
Right.
Agreeing with you would make me feel too uncomfortable. So I'd
Right.
rather go back into my comfort zone, feeling at rest in the chaos of my life. Well,
Right.
because it's something that's familiar and I'm used to it.
That's facts. That's facts. Now, I'm gonna tell you about me. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna be like I'm wide open when it comes to things on my mind, and seeking knowledge and understanding things, understanding how the world operates, understanding creation and evolving, and wanting to be better and seeking more. I'm all open to. I am a sponge willing to learn and hear other people. That's how you grow. You know what I'm saying? You can't block that stuff. So I really appreciate that for real. Seriously.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it just helped. And also, it kind of, well, no, not kind of, it does. It holds me accountable because when you put something out there, I recognize that people are watching.
Right.
I know
Facts.
people are watching by the discussions that I hear that people have about other people, and I also question other people's integrity or their honesty or their so-called truths when it doesn't align with their behavior. So
Mm.
if I'm thinking like this about other people and I'm watching other people do the same thing, then I have to be mindful of what I say because I have to make sure I'm going to be okay living up to it.
Right. That takes a lot of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It does. You have to be responsible and mature in your mind and your spirit, the type of energy that you putting out and what type of energy that you will receive, even the good as well as the bad. How will you handle it? Will it change your character? That's important.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Yeah. And
So
with me,
yeah.
the idea of good and bad, I only put that on me. For other
Mm-hmm.
people, anything that is outside of my own behavior is just different, right?
Right. Gotcha.
So with emotions, I don't look at my emotions when I'm feeling them as something that is good or bad. It's either positive or negative, and
Right.
meaning the spectrum. It's either on this side or it's on the other side, right? And it allows me to know where I stand vibrationally, which will determine what I will get in my near future as personal experiences. So I don't use my emotions to be like, oh, I'm mad. Somebody got to do this to change the way that I feel, or somebody got to say something different so that I can be more comfortable hearing them. Like, no, I don't care what you do. Okay, you got that freedom to choose. What you do with it is your business, and the results that you get, that's between you and God. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
I'm only responsible for me and mine. My responses, my intentions, and my heart. That's it. So I use those emotional sensations as gauges, just to let me know if I'm closer to God or if I'm moving farther away from God. The farther away I move from God, the worse I feel.
Right.
Angry, depressed, anxious, enraged, and stuff like that. The closer I am to God, the more lighter I feel, right? I can breathe better. The atmosphere, the air is better up here than down there, because the farther away from God you move, the more dense you become. Matter develops at, when energy, it slows down, right? So when it speeds up, it gets lighter. Things get clearer.
Right.
To give you a perfect example, if you've ever been a passenger in a car and you've watched somebody's tires, right, on the highway, and you can pretty much see right through those tires. You can see like what's behind the rim, right? Because it's going so fast. It becomes transparent.
Right.
It's the same thing with us. When we're vibrating high, we become less human and more spirit. When we become more spirit, we're more freer. We're more freer in thought. We're more freer in movement and ideas. But when we are at a standstill or moving very slowly, it's like a car again. You look at the tires. You can't see behind it. All you see what's in front of, the brake, the shoe pads and the brake pads and all that crap, right? So we have to continuously strive to feel better, not to be right. Because at the end of the day, we're right. There's not one of us that has ever been wrong. Even when we acknowledge that we were wrong, guess what? We're right. Right? So how can anyone ever truly be wrong? Never. So don't strive to be right. Strive to do things correct. When you try to be correct, that's when you get better results. When you try and strive to be right, you're always defending yourself. You're always trying to prove yourself. You always got something to holler about, argue about, and it's moving you farther away from God. Because you can't be of service, and you can't feel love. There's no love. Where's the love when you're defending yourself? There's no love. You're in fear. Yeah.
Hey, I love this talk. That's what's up. We definitely got to chop it up again.
Yes. I do this very often.
Yes. I'll be up here every now and then. So, yeah, I'll definitely, pay attention and be a part of the audience.
Nice. Whenever you want to come up, you can come up, unless it's a live learning. And that's when I create lesson plans and I actually teach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I'm going to check it out. I'm definitely check it out.
Yeah. So I'm going to get ready for my later live.
I feel you.
And yeah, just, stay tuned.
Yes, we'll be tuned.
And Wednesday is going to be really, really good. Wednesday is going to be me and Faye. And we're going to be speaking on the topic of polygamy and monogamy. And would it be conducive to the Black community? Like, is polygamy beneficial to the Black community?
I'll definitely listen to
that. Yeah, so it's going to be a good one. All right. Well, it was nice meeting you.
You too. Peace. Everybody have a good day.
Yay. Stay magically delicious and spiritually redefined.
Later. Peace out.